Struggling to conceive? What if a completely different holistic approach is the exact answer you need? Our guest, Ashley Holmes, today conceived naturally after years of infertility using this technique. Get excited because you can achieve that magical combination of finding total zen and getting it all done. The voice that says you can't is total mind BS.
I'm Ashley, and I'm a holistic fertility coach, and I support women who are struggling to conceive to create a fertile foundation within. I think it's so important that we don't have to do life alone. We don't have to struggle alone. We're not here to suffer. And I think that's just important for people to hear and be reminded of, because often when you're in that space and place, you don't think anybody understands you. No one knows what you're going through, and you feel all alone.
And so, how did you get into this? Did you have your own infertility journey? Would you be willing to
I
share?
def I definitely did have my own infertility journey, and I have been blessed with twins. They are currently 11, and I say I did things the hard way and the easy way. And so I offer what helped me to heal holistically that had zero side effects and only positive benefits. And I think for anybody who has been on this road for a while, it can be very draining, very defeating, very depressing at times to be trying so hard and still not achieving that desired result. And so I think that when you have tools and resources to replenish, rejuvenate, and to be able to fill up your cup much more easily and readily, and to feel so much more equipped in mind, body, and spirit as you navigate this, I mean, this not only helps you on your fertility journey, but truly your life journey, and to start thinking big picture about not just the baby, but also healthy pregnancy, healthy delivery, healthy postpartum, healthy mom, healthy baby, right?
I love that. So, the journey that you start in this conception phase is going to take you through the entire parenting journey and help you be a more centered and present parent. So, when I think infertility, the first thing I think is, oh my goodness, we need help. I'm going to go to a doctor.
Yes.
Right. And so you're saying there are other options. What does that
There
look
are
like?
other options.
Yeah.
And I think it's wonderful to bring light to this, to bring awareness to this, because we all have kind of been conditioned to, go the mainstream route to, if I have a problem, go to the doctor, they can help me, great. And if not, there's no more answers or solutions for me. And so I will just chime in here that, the clinic diagnosed me with unexplained infertility, and I walked away from the clinic not wanting to go down that route again and not thinking that I could have any more children on my own naturally. And so that wasn't the truth. That wasn't the case. We can really have a lot of limiting beliefs and unconscious programming that's running in the background that we may not even be aware of. And so it's really important to begin to become aware and conscious of the thoughts that are really driving us, and to just choose a way that feels good for you in your mind, body, and spirit. And, I was able to achieve what I didn't even think was possible. And so I really want to inspire people that if you think you've tried everything, you think that you've done everything, perhaps maybe you're just starting.
So I can imagine our audience going, yes, yes, I want this. This is the answer. What would you say to that they should do to get started? Like, what does the path look like to the journey of wholeness and fertility through this alternative method?
Really, it is comprised of three main things, and those main things are resolving stress, navigating stress, realizing, where your stress levels are, realizing that we need to be in rest and digest mode, not in fight and flight mode when we're trying to conceive. So that's really important. And it's not a one and done thing, right? This is something that we are aware of, we're conscious of, and we're on top of, because we're not letting ourselves get so drained and depleted that it takes so much to revigorate and replenish ourselves. So, every cycle isn't starting from scratch again. It's easier to pick yourself up and begin again. And so there is the stress, there is the healing of the mind, body, and spirit. And so, tools that I use to help with that are yoga and breath work and meditation and chakra balancing and Reiki. And then the nourishment piece is the sister science to yoga, which is Ayurveda, which is really learning how to nourish your inborn constitution that you arrived here on this earth with. And so the main pillars of my program are resolving stress, which we can do through meditation and through working with the nervous system and yoga and pranayama. And healing the mind, body, and spirit can also be used with using Reiki energy and chakra balancing and working with your energy system so that you feel energetically balanced and aligned and can course correct and begin to notice these things for yourself. And the last one is Ayurvedic nourishment so that you are nourishing yourself in the way that your reproductive tissues, the foods you are eating, it is going all the way down to where it needs to be because when we're stressed, they're not making it there.
Can you tell me about one exercise from that really resonated with you, or something that you started with that you grabbed onto to start your journey?
What really was a big aha moment for me was realizing that I'm not just my physical body, that I have an energy body and that I can tap into this energy body, and that it is a way that I move through my life now is to be cognizant of my energy and where I'm leaking energy and to course correct before anything goes awry. And so that's really what I am teaching my clients to become aware of is their energy and what they need to do for themselves, and that they can choose for themselves to help heal themselves in a holistic way. And that isn't invasive, that, feels good in their mind, body, and spirit. And it really is just that choice of prioritizing themselves and taking this time and energy and effort to really focus on themselves and to put their health and well-being, all areas of health and well-being first.
Yeah, that's tricky for a lot of people because, well, two big reasons. Number one is we don't have enough time. And number two is we don't know how. If people are looking to get started and they wanted to start just one practice to get them on their journey, what would you recommend?
I know a lot of people perhaps don't meditate, and a great meditation to use or to start with, which a lot of people have not heard of as well, which is yoga nidra, because you can't do it wrong. And 20 minutes of this practice is also equivalent to 4 hours of sleep. So it is a perfect reset for anybody who is a sleep deprived mom, a burnt out entrepreneur. There are so many, you have PTSD. There are so many reasons that this practice serves you and will help you. Your subconscious mind will take what it needs from the practice and apply it to you. And you cannot do this practice wrong. So if you are breathing, which you are if you are listening, you can do this meditation. So if anyone's thinking, I can't sit still or my mind's too busy, you can do this meditation. I promise you.
Now, are you open to talking about shame? Was there any part of you that felt shame throughout your fertility journey? It felt that, it took away from your womanhood.
Definitely. It's a big piece and part of why this is quote unquote taboo and not talked about, is because there is so much fear and shame and guilt and all of these heavy emotions that surround it. And we haven't been taught what to do with these heavy emotions. Often we are just suppressing them and we're not dealing with them. We're not looking at them. We're not addressing them. We're not acknowledging them
Mhm.
because it is not easy necessarily to do that. And one of my mentors actually had me sit with my shame. I sat in a room, and for me, what that looked like was my face turning beet red. There was tears coming down my cheeks. It was super uncomfortable. But when we can actually do that for 90 seconds, we can process it, we can let it go, and it doesn't have this energetic charge held over us anymore. And so it is really important to be able to hold a safe, sacred space for people that has no judgment and for them to actually be able to process and go through what it is that they're going through, because definitely there was a lot of shame. I felt less than, I felt unworthy of, why was this easy for everybody else and this wasn't easy for me? Why did the doctors say this should have worked by now? We're moving on to the next protocol, when I felt like I was doing everything scientifically possible to make this happen. And so I think that, we hold a lot of shame and guilt, and we feel like, if this doesn't happen for me, then somehow I'm less of a woman, I'm less of a wife, I'm less of a daughter, and we have all these, but we need to recognize that we are putting that on ourselves and it's
Mhm.
nobody else.
Yeah, that's the mind BS. That's I'm disappointing people. I should be able to do this. Anytime there's a should, right? We need to correct that. We don't want to should upon ourselves. Now, you have a book chapter that's available for people to read or to listen to, I guess. Can you tell us more about that?
Definitely. I wrote a chapter in Nourished Wisdom from Leaders Living in Flow and Fulfillment. And the chapter is called Fertile in Mind, Body, and Spirit. And it speaks to my direct experience of everything that I'm talking about and really lays it out in how this worked for me, where I was at, and also it begins with how, I had a phone call from the doctor saying that something was wrong with the baby, and how at that point in time I was in the middle of my meditation and prana training. And it was
Mm.
really the time of me to master my mind and not let my mind spiral for 10 days. Well, I was waiting for results. And so, really, it was a testament to put what you're learning into practice. And it was a false negative. And my baby is perfectly healthy. He's 5 years old now. So, it really is also learning to master the mind, to become conscious and aware of your thoughts and to choose your thoughts, and to know that a thought can be a thought and we don't need to amplify it with an emotion and energetically put a charge behind it and send out a message to the universe that something's wrong with me, or something is wrong with my baby, or something is not in alignment for me. And to be conscious of the words that we think, the words that we speak, everything has an energy, a frequency, and a vibration behind it.
Yeah, for sure. And there's so much waiting in that whole infertility journey, and it can absolutely drive you batty, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so being able to just get through those, moments where your brain is just going through all of the possibilities and all of the, catastrophes that could happen at the end, that's huge. And putting that vibration out into the world changes everything. So I am going to put all of your links in the description. I have the link to your chapter. Is there any other way that people can reach you?
If you are currently struggling with infertility, or if you know someone who is part of the 1 in 6 couples that are trying to grow their families, then I would love to welcome you into the Holistic Fertility Coach Facebook group. It is a welcome space for you to land and to be, and to know that you're not alone, because it can be a lonely and isolating journey. And I think it's crucial to find your tribe, to find support, and to know that that is available and accessible to you, and that you're worthy of it and that you deserve it as well.
All right, Ashley, thank you so much for being here today and vulnerably sharing your journey. I appreciate it so much. Before we sign off today, are there any last words you'd love to leave our audience with?
I would love to leave you with the words that no mud, no lotus. So if you are in the trenches, know that there is light for where you are. There is hope for where you are. And even when it doesn't feel like it, you are exactly where you're meant to be. And to seek that support that is readily available to you to help you, because it is challenging. So know that you deserve to hold that bundle of joy in your arms and reach out at any time to me or anybody else that you feel resonance with, because it's important to feel energetically held, even if you're not in the same space and place as someone.
Yes, that's amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.
Thank you.
Let's get effed. Fulfilled. Subscribe below and see if we can make that happen.